Alright, so what's going on? It's Big Guns and Pistols. I'm back with the second part of this video. So what I want to do right now, I already told you guys in the first video, I just want to go over a lot of the specific things about this firearm, and I'm going to start from the rear to the front. So first off, what I got back here, when we start at the very back, this is the Magpul butt pad. This butt pad goes on the back of a Magpul stock, as you see here. This is the STR. I believe I said CTR in the last video. I meant to say STR. This is the STR stock here. This STR stock, it does have the quick detach mount on both sides, or actually I believe it's only on the left side or the right side. This stock does have quick detach, of course, has to have that locking lever. It has the cheek mount. Now that cheek mount is one of the main reasons why I purchased this stock. That's gonna help me with stability as I'm reaching out long range. So again, it has the cheek mount, flat dark earth to match the rest of the gun, with the butt pad and the locking lever. Of course, you know it's adjustable. That's sitting on a Aero Precision buffer. I also believe I have the Aero Precision buffer spring as well as the Aero Precision buffer that's inside of there. I do have a flat dark earth castle nut to match the rest of the gun. Now the thing about the flat dark earth castle nut is that to me it's kind of a shade off. It looks more gold than it does flat dark earth, but I still have that. I just didn't want to go through the troubles of returning it and all of that kind of stuff. This is a quick detach Magpul sling plate that I have back here. I do have this on my 10.5-inch AR, and I have it on here as well because I really like it. I like the quick detach. I can switch from side to side. I tried to get this gun to be as ambidextrous as I can. Now when we move forward, I have the selector switch. This is the 45-degree selector switch. You can either have it at 90 degrees or you can have it at 45 degrees. I always keep it on 45 degrees. So I have that on both sides, of course, ambidextrous, and I like it to match the rest of the gun. As you can see here, it's clear. I matched as many parts as I possibly can. This whole entire gun is flat dark earth and black. So it's flat dark earth kind of with a black outline and a black, almost like a two-tone, flat dark earth and black. The trigger that I have here, this trigger cost me $135. That is a velocity trigger, 3-pound trigger, single stage. I like single stage triggers. I don't really like two-stage triggers. So that's a velocity. Another thing about this trigger, I'll open it up and show you, it has a nickel boron hammer, which works well with the nickel boron bulk carrier group that I have. Then I have a 20-round L7 Lancer magazine. One thing about these magazines is they're very expensive. I believe this one here I caught on sale for $30, but I do have some 25-round magazines that I'll show you later that cost $50 a piece. So just for 2 of those 25-round Lancer L7 magazines, it cost me $100. So this one here I caught a good deal on and I got it for $30. That's a 20-round magazine. If we look at the charging handle, that's 308, of course, Raptor's charging handle, flat dark earth, ambidextrous, made well. I tried my best to go with some of the best manufacturing companies for AR parts, and I think Raptor's really high up there when it comes to making gun parts as well as firearms. Aero Precision scope mount. That scope mount, I believe that cost me about, I think it was like $109 if I can remember. I want to get that because Aero Precision, of course, it matches the firearm. Of course, it's flat dark earth. Again, keeping all the parts quality, matching one another. I like that. I'm gonna do this scope last because there's quite a few things to say about it. We got the Aero Precision handguard that's free floating, does not touch the barrel. I like that for more accuracy at long ranges from Aero Precision. That's really good. And then I have the forward grip from Magpul on there. This is the M-Lock, of course, and I like the way that M-Lock feel because it fits my hand better, because the other one's a little bigger. I like this M-Lock one right here. It fits my hand really good. When we move forward, we got the Olight Now that old light, that was about $169. I like that pressure switch a whole lot. I'm gonna show you how that works a little later, but this old light is a 2000 lumen flashlight. Very, very bright. I really like that. It's a really good beam on that flashlight. Glad I got that. You see the Bipod from Magpul. Had to get that Bipod. Now let me go into that a little bit. The reason that I got that Bipod is because I have plans of using this firearm for some long distance shooting, and it's foldable. So if I ever need to fold it up, and I'll show you how that works, I'm gonna show you how everything works. That's why this video might be a little long. So I'll be able to move with it if I wanna get down low with it, pop that Bipod out, put it out just like it is that you see here, do what I need to do with it. Now the thing about it, it's adjustable to different levels. I'll show you that a little later. Up here, I forget the brand of that muzzle device, but upon my research, that muzzle device is able to suppress nearly all of the flash, so I don't really have to worry about any muzzle flash. Very, very nice muzzle brake. Quality, and it was expensive. I think I paid $90 for that muzzle brake. If we look here on the Handguard, one thing that I forgot to mention, this is from Magpul. That's for the quick detach. That's a quick detach mount that I have from Magpul, so that I'm able to attach my sling here and here, or I can attach it here and the stock. Either way I want to do it. I like it that way. I like to have options. Again, like I mentioned, this quick detach here, I also have this on my 10.5 inch. So I got an option of whether I want to attach the sling from here to here, or from here back here at the stock. Whichever one feels more comfortable for me. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this bad boy around and talk about some things on the other side. Also, I do have a Magpul 3, I believe that's a 3-slot rail for M-lock that I put in here. Everything has been mounted onto this Handguard very well. All right, now as for the other side here, I told you about that ambidextrous selector switch. You can see the short latch that's on this side. Notice here how I have a flat dark earth dust cover. That dust cover is from Strike Industries. These are very important to me. These are the flip up sights. Those cost me like $180 for the set. Very nice, solid steel sights, and you can tune those in with precision. You can really finesse it in to get the proper adjustments that you need to be able to hit the targets. So I really like those. One thing about steel sights to me is when you look up front here, you're gonna notice that's more the AK style front steel sight that I have there. Again, these are from Troy Industry. These are offset and flat dark earth, of course, and they match the gun perfectly. Now I want to say a few things about the scope. Now as we get a real good look at this scope here, this is a Swamp Fox scope from Swamp Fox, of course. It's a 1:10 scope. I told you that the glass is very, very sharp. Very sharp glass. Now most scopes that you see are a 1:6 or a 1:8, and I looked at plenty of those. And I ended up running across this one because I had a friend who told me about this one. So I went and checked it out. Swamp Fox got a few scopes, but like I say, many of them are 1:6 or 1:8. This one is 1:10. The reason that I got the 1:10 is because that's gonna allow me to zoom in even further. That's going to allow me to have even more precision if I need it. And the thing about it is, I have to harp on it. Some good glasses inside of that scope. Now, upon my research, when I was looking at the scopes and things like that, one thing that I noticed that people kept saying about the scope is that the glass is very good glass inside of the scope. Very good glass is inside of the scope. When I look through that scope, it is very sharp. So you see the rear sight here, and all I have to do is just flip it up like that. Got my front sight here that I just need to flip up, and that's how I have it. So I'm gonna put the camera a little close to it so that you all will be able to see. I'm gonna make sure that I get some really close-up views because I want you guys to see it very good. Now when we look down there, we got our 20 round L7 Lancer magazine. Now those are, I forget what kind of ammunition that is that I have in there, but really good ammunition. Very solid magazines with steel feed lips. This whole entire thing is steel. Get a good look at that. That's steel. And I'll show you that up close. Steel all the way around. Very nice. Steel. That's very important to have, especially when you have a rifle this serious and for what I'm going to be using it for. Another thing that I want you all to get a good look at is that dust cover. That's a really nice dust cover from Strike Industries. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop this bad boy back, open up just like that, and what you see on the inside of there, that is the nickel boron bulk carrier group from Aero Precision. That's a really nice bulk carrier group, and I'm also going to make sure, as I've stated, I'm going to get some really close-up shots of that. I've always said that when I get another light for another firearm, that I'm going to make sure I get a pressure switch, a light that comes with a pressure switch, and that's what I did with this one. Having a pressure switch versus using your thumb to hit the rear button on a light, having a pressure switch is way better. It's like 10 times better because it's so easy to operate the firearm when you have a pressure switch. I recommend those. It's very nice and simple. And again, I'm going to be showing you guys this in detail. I'm going to show you how some of these things work. I'm going to show you how some of these things operate. But to have a pressure switch is really nice. And the thing about it, it came with the pressure switch mount from Olight. So it was really simple to install because this, all I had to do was clip it onto the rail and then set the pressure switch inside. It did come with some things that I can latch it down to the rail with. I'll show you that. Hope that you can see that, but it did come with that, and I got it nice and neat in there. I don't want to get too close, but you're able to see what I'm saying, that I'm able to latch it down in there real nice and neatly. Now, this is one of my favorite parts of this rifle. When we look at these sights, get a good look at that front sight. That is an AK style front sight. They have two different styles. They have the AR style front sight and they have a AK style front sight. And I want to make sure that I go with the AK style front sight. I like that a lot better. And the thing about it is when I turn this gun to the side and I look through it, man, I can really lay some rounds down on whatever target I'm shooting at with precision. Very important for you guys to get you some steel sights. Now, if you remember some of the videos about my other AR, my 10.5 inch, you would see some plastic sights that I have for the rear and the front. But having steel sights is just, they're a lot more solidly built, strong and tough. Get a good look at that. And then I just push this button in here. If I push that down, you fold it back down. See how it locks? It locks in there. Now if I push this button again, let me push it again and flip it up. Notice that you're going to hear a click. I'm going to be quiet. Hopefully you can hear it. Yep, of course you heard that. That was pretty loud, but it clicks in and it locks in. A very solid, tight lock. Another thing, get a good look at that muzzle device. That is a 3-prong, I believe it says, let's see what that say, Eliminator muzzle brake. I don't remember what brand it was, but I know that it's a name brand muzzle device. It cost me $90. Very nice muzzle brake. Now, if we look down here at the Magpul Bipod, again, I like to stick my brands together, and I like to I don't like a bunch of shit, you know, from all of these different companies thrown on my gun. I like to, you know, put them all together. Now, that Bipod, I think that was like $109. I don't know if I got it. I bought it quite some time ago, so I don't remember exactly what the price was, but what I do know, that bad boy is solid. I can tell you that. Very solidly built, nicely built. Flat dark earth to match the rest of the gun. That's very important to me. Now what I'm gonna do is, if you look right here, you're going to see the levers that will adjust it. I believe it's 5 different adjustments. I'll show you that later on, but it's 5 different adjustments and it's really nice. And one thing about this bipod is that it moves with the gun. So however you move the gun, whether it's side to side, does a little bit of forward and backwards, I believe, but the panning is really good. This knob right here, you're able to adjust this knob for the tension. I got it on tight right now. Now, I'll show you this though. These right here, these flip up. All we got to do is just push this button in right here. Push it in, we can flip it up and get it out of the way for when we're not using it. And the other side flips up as well. So when we're ready to use it, we pop this bad boy down, it locks in place. Take a look at that flashlight. That flashlight is from Olight. I looked at a lot of different lights. I looked at some Surefires. I looked at some, what is it called? I believe it's called Streamlight. And then one thing I noticed that the Olights, they doing their thing. I really like how they made this light. Very solid, kind of big. It's a little bigger than what I wanted, but it has so many features that I like the pressure pad, 2000 lumen, which is important to have because if I ever need to use this, I want to, you know, brighten up everything in case I need to. And the thing about that light is the distance on it. It shines very far. This here is a locking device. It locks. It's a very nice locking system that this light has. Now let's take a look at this charging handle. I want to give you a close-up view of that because there's so many different charging handles out there, but the main ones are like a BCM and pretty much Raptor. That Raptor charging handle is very nice. I love it. So whether I need to charge it with my left hand or whether I need to charge it with my right hand, either or it works. But so that's pretty much all for this video, because in the next video, I want to show y'all how some of these things work. I want to show you how the scope work. I want to show you what the inside of the scope looks like. I want to show you how it lights up. I want to show you the flashlight. I want to show you how bright the flashlight gets. I want to show you the bipod and the adjustments, how high it can go into different levels. And then I want to show you my trigger, the inside of the trigger, because I really want to show you that nickel boron hammer. And I want to show you that full nickel boron bulk carrier group. It's good to have both because the lubricity, it slides on one another very well. So that's it for here. It's Big Guns and Pistols. I want to thank y'all guys for watching, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Check out some things that I have. I want to build something large here. I do have another YouTube channel that sometimes I post in the description, but I'm going to hold back from that right now, and I will be creating a third YouTube channel because I'm a man of many things and I like to talk about many things, more things that I have to show you about this firearm, and it might be a fourth video. I'm not sure. It might be a fourth video, but Big Guns and Pistols. Thank you for watching. Peace.